Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Embracing Wisdom with Stacie. That's me. Today, I want to talk about the energy centers in the body and specifically the root chakra. And I want to start with the root. We'll go through all of the 7 main ones eventually on this podcast. But I want to talk about the root chakra. And it is so important that we understand what it is, when we're out of balance, how to balance it, and why it's so important right now. So the root chakra, well, let's back up. The energy centers in our body, we have thousands of them, but we have 7 main ones that is mostly the known ones. We have a couple that hover above and a couple that hover below, but the 7 main, and they, in Chinese medicine, we have these meridians in our bodies, right? We have these things that crisscross through our body. And our 7 main energy centers go from our tailbone all the way up to the crown of our head. Now, these energy centers have been studied as best they can scientifically, and we're starting to get a better understanding about them, but there's something that have been known for thousands of years on that eastern side of thinking, right? And so when we have a yoga practice, ideally, what we're trying to do is align all 7 of the energy centers. So we have some grounding postures that help ground the lower 3. We have some introspective postures that help balance and open the upper 3. We have some heart openers that help to find that bridge in the middle. And we'll talk about these as we journey on through the chakras. But it's important to know that at any given time in our life, day to day, hour to hour, the energy centers can be a little bit wonky. I personally don't like to think too much of are they opened or closed, but are they off? And so the energy centers, as we have come to understand them to be, are wheels of energy in our body, like a little vortex, 7 main ones, lots of little ones, 7 main, and they spin and they circulate. Now, when you are trained or maybe intuitively know some of your energy centers, you can actually feel them, whether they're very open and healthy and vibrant, or like I don't even feel anything. And that takes a lot of skill and a lot of practice or a lot of intuition. That's just a natural born gift. Either way, you don't have to be able to feel your energy centers. Once you have information, you can do the self-study that we talk about in yoga called Svadhyaya. And we think about, okay, where am I feeling off today? And why am I feeling off? So the energy centers relate to physical ailments in our body, as well as sort of behavioral ailments, if you will, with our body and our mind. So I'll talk you through the root. Okay, the root is one that I think is so important because in a environment where there's a lot of upheaval, and that is just happening in our world right now. There's a lot of upheaval. We have a change in season coming in a short time next week. We just have a lot of upheaval. Schedules are changing. So kids are going back to school. Maybe kids are moving out and going to college. Maybe, there's just stuff, lots of maybes. And the root chakra is sort of what tethers us and maintains our grounded nature and helps us to be tethered. Okay. So as we navigate up the energy centers, we will learn that the bottom 3 very much relate to our physicality, our humanness on this plane, this earth plane, whereas the upper 3 are more ethereal, more spiritual based, but not. We'll get there. And then the heart is the bridge. It's the pause point. It's like, take a breath. It's in the chest. Go figure. Okay. So there's a lot of great books on the energy centers, and I'm just giving you this much snippet of them. I recommend The Wheels of Life. I think it's a fabulous book, but I think The Anatomy of Spirit by Carolyn Myss, last name is spelled Myss, is by far the best. I will link both of those books down below because they are a must-have if you're curious about why you have a continual pattern that shows up in your life, why you might have a physical ailment that keeps showing up that maybe doctors can't explain. Maybe you have just a curiosity, simple curiosity. All right, let's dip down into the root chakra. The root chakra is associated with the color red, deep, dark, earthy red. Okay. The element that is associated with this energy center is the earth. Okay. Each energy center has a vibrational frequency. This one is the frequency that is very solid in structure and very grounding. Affirmation for this one tends to be I am. Just plain and simple, I am. Okay, so as you just listen to my description of this, you might start to feel a little sinking in. Okay, so some gemstones that work really great for when your root chakra is a little wonky would be anything that's in the red or black kind of family. So red jasper, black tourmaline, red tourmaline is beautiful. If you can find it, it's a hard one. I love red jasper. And then hematite, which actually two gemstones, same size. One is hematite, one is, say, citrine. It's going to feel heavier. Same size, but the constitution of that gemstone is very grounding. I keep hematite in my car just to kind of bring myself into the present, keep me focused, keep me safe, keep me grounded. Okay, so we have earth element. Trees are going to be your aromatherapy blend. Roots, vetiver root, any tree, any fir tree, spruce tree, frankincense tree, any resin, myrrh, frankincense, anything that's earthy, cedar wood, Siberian fir, cypress, grounding, vetiver, amazing. Okay, so those are sort of the tools for our toolbox. Yoga postures for the root would be anything that we stay and remain on the floor. So anything prone on our belly, anything supine on our back, anything that's still. A yin practice is going to be a perfect choice for the root chakra, sitting on our bums so we get that connection from our sitting bones into the earth. And then if you prefer to have some standing postures, anything that relates to standing solid on both feet, okay, grounded. So warrior pose, the entire foot is glued down. Anything that's super strong and constitutes a very grounded disposition. Okay, so let's talk about the root chakra, where it feels a little bit off. When the root chakra is either open too much, closed too much, it's just going to feel off. Now, I don't want to get into the specifics of when it's overactive, you're going to feel this, and when it's underactive, you're going to feel this. It's just going to give you the offness. Okay, the offness of this, because the root chakra relates to how we show up within our greater tribe, who we are in the DNA, in the culture, in the history, in our tribe, as far as our community, like the greater. Okay, and we're gonna work our way in as we travel up the energy centers. But the root is big. It's our relationship to the big, relationship to our ancestry. Big, right? When this one feels off, we have a tendency to not feel that we fit in anywhere, that we're sort of flighty, right? We never can be still. We're kind of like a hummingbird all over the place. When it's in a healthy place, we feel very calm, very grounded, very rooted, very secure. There is a tendency in the first chakra to have a relationship with money that's, I got to have a lot and never spend it. And I'm just going to hone in and I'm going to be safe and secure and nobody can take it away. Okay, if it's overactive, you cling to that security and safety to the point where you don't let people into your life, you don't take risks, you're constantly living in a fear state because you have to be safe. Okay. Now, if you're on the other side of imbalanced, you're going to be careless and carefree, flying through the world like nobody cares, the go with the flow to the extreme. Now, there's a place for going with the flow, and we'll get to that in the next energy center. That element is water. But for the earth element, to be secure in yourself, secure in who you are, secure with money, a healthy relationship with your physical body, a healthy relationship with money, a healthy relationship with where you fit, who you are, solid. See where I'm going? Like heavy, solid, dense, grounded, rooted and secure. Red jasper, hematite, tourmaline, all the trees and the roots. Tools for your toolbox. Apply the oils, carry the gemstones, repeat the mantra, I am. Find colors in your foods and in your clothing and in your surroundings that support this one. Red. So if you feel like you have no security, you don't know where you fit, you're always flying off the handle, you're never grounded, I would bring a lot of red into your life. I would bring a lot of red colors. I would wear red. I would carry red. I would smell trees. I would be outside as much as possible, barefoot in the grass. Whew. Now, if it's too much and you're fearful, then I would release some of that. I would release some of that. Maybe just carry red jasper. Still breathe in the tree oils. Okay. So when we think about these energy centers, the root chakra is located at the base of our spine, tailbone, legs, feet. So physically, at times, if our root chakra is off, we might have some ailments related to sacrum, tailbone, base of our body, legs, hips, feet, ankles, knees, sitting bones, way down low as we can go. And when I think sacrum, I'm thinking more of like tailbone sacrum, pelvic floor, although that's getting up into the next one, but we'll get there. We'll get there. But the first one is that feet problems, leg problems, knee problems, some back problems, security, safety. Okay. Now, on a personal side, I think that for so much of my adult life, I lived in the root chakra. I had a very strong connection to the root chakra to the point where it was basic survival, survival all the time, that my body physically has worn out. Survival. That's what the root chakra is all about. Now, if you spend too many years or decades, in my case, in survival, you probably will eventually develop some physical characteristics or ailments that correlate to that energy center. And the same holds true as we move up, right? If we'll just jump to the fifth, throat, neck, jaw, if truth, communication, if you have spent a lifetime unable to communicate and withhold your voice, it's probable, likely, that you have a lot of TMJ from biting your tongue, withholding your voice. You might have sore throat all the time. You might have chronic neck pain, chronic shoulder pain, because for a lifetime or decades, you've been keeping it all here. Okay, so we'll talk about the physical stuff that can happen. I'm not saying, dismiss your doctors for this, but it is energy, and energy vibrates in a different frequency. And when we have a stuck energy for a long period of time, it is probable we will have something show up. So I lived in survival mode for most of my 40 years. For the last 10-ish years, I've been less survival mode. And I developed some chronic hip, knee, feet, back stuff. Is it a coincidence? I don't know. That's for you to decide. All right, so let's just recapture the first chakra. Color is red. Affirmation is I am. Element is earth. It is dense, heavy, grounding, tethering you down. Physically, it correlates to the legs, the feet, the tailbone, the base of your body. It has to do with survival, safety, security, where you fit in the tribe, who you are, and how you navigate a groundedness in your life. Okay, that's the root. Take a breath. Sink down. Yoga postures that support the roots. Anything prone on our belly, anything supine on our back, anything that's quiet and still, anything that's grounding, forward folds, introspect, settle. If you choose standing postures for the root chakra, they will be solid, both legs on the ground, grounded. Aromatherapy that correlates and supports the root chakra, any tree, any root, any resin. Tree root resin. And gemstones that support the root are going to be the reds and the blacks, and the hematites, which is a metallic gray, shiny, very heavy stone, has some magnetic qualities, magnetic energy, pulls you down. Okay, we'll keep going. We'll talk about the sacral chakra, or the second one, next. And then I do have an entire full series over down below in my storefront where you can purchase and download a downloadable ebook that has all of this information, a yoga practice, aromatherapy blends, suggestions, and gemstone suggestions, all of it as a single ebook. Or you can download the freebie, all of them, but it doesn't include all the juicy details. It's just an overview. All right, so that's down below in the storefront. So we'll keep going. This is a great topic. It's one that I really believe in. It's something that has changed my life. When I read Anatomy of the Spirit, I'll link it below. It woke me up. It all clicked, and ever since then, I've been incorporating these tools when I'm feeling a little bit off. Okay, so we'll keep talking about it. All right, have a beautiful rest of your day. Go find something red, get grounded, hug a tree. It works, I promise, and I'll see you next week. Bye.